Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. Comment allez-vous? Comment est? Assalamu alaikum. This is Musa Metmuchim Jr. signing in on Earth. Today, the book reading, my book entitled Why, Who, Where is God? I will do a book reading today. I will start chapter 6. Chapter 6, the title of chapter 6 is War. Kareem was still there. He was camouflaged, and he was waiting for another Jew to kill. Many things were on his mind, but he tried to concentrate. Still, he heard a resounding voice. Alhamdulillah, from the river to the sea. He remembered Mo. But all the Jews he'd known in Palestine were not like Mo. In fact, before the war, one of his good friends was a Jew. All this was part. All this was just an aspect of time. Just residing in time was Kareem's thought as he waited for his next target. He had already killed 60 Jews. He was only 39 killings short. The enchanted number was 99. 99 beautiful names of Allah. The night came. Kareem lay alone between two rocks. His restiveness would not allow him to stay awake. His thoughts lingered on the question of what should be done. Why did this have to happen? What had he done for such a burden to be incorporated into his being? The taking of life is about as serious as you can get. While Kareem stayed hidden and ready to fire on any unfortunate Jew that came in his sights, he, too, like the other sniper, waited for an ill-fated quarry to appear, to be downed by one of his bullets. He, too, was human, like the other sniper, that is, sworn to kill other human beings just because of creed. And indeed, this is what he would do. He was trained. He would kill the enemy because that was the occupation of the soldier. He was not asleep. Although his eyes kept closing, indicative of the necessity to rest. The wind began to blow, and it kept blowing strongly while the few trees whispered mysterious sounds that resembled distant voices. Kareem felt he heard the sweet voice of Miriam. He heard the children play. His two daughters were playing some kind of hide and seek game. Kareem smiled during this recollection. He passed out. Consider the life of a comeback soldier who kills and destroys just to keep alive. Bodies lying around everywhere. Amputated arms, heads lying on the ground, and a sea of blood engulfs perception. A friend is blown away without a moment's notice. Then the combatant has to come back to live with the so-called civilized. The taking of another human life. How many of us have done it? And how many times? Life, death. What a way to live or die. Kareem had fallen into a sudden slumber. Then Mo appeared in his dream. Mo walked up to Kareem and said, "The taking of life is about as serious as you can get." "What is this?" exclaimed Kareem. "This is a dream, stupid," laughed Mo. "What? What about the giving of life? What do you think of that?" "You are talking about something else." "We're talking about the same thing," insisted Mo. "Let's talk," Kareem asserted. "My friend, this is murder." "Friend?" This was a misapprehension generated by the provocations which surrounded him. Death had become a contemplative certainty, and the thoughts of his mind were distorted. Kareem saw the darkness, and he heard the roaring winds, the screams and shouts. He saw the casualties. His head began to ache. Then the winds began to speak to him. All these were the real events in his mind as he tried to escape a derided reality. Then the Jew, Mo, appeared again in Kareem's hallucinated mind. "Do you believe in Jesus? What is this? Why do you question me? Who are you? I am your best friend or your worst enemy. You are not my friend. Do you believe in Jesus?" the Jew asked. "Jesus was a holy prophet," proclaimed Kareem. "So do you believe in him?" Muhammad was the last prophet of Allah. May peace be with the holy prophet. Clap, said Mo. You are not a Jew. You are a Zionist, exclaimed Kareem. Mo said, so God died on the cross and he was raised from the dead? Blasphemy, shouted Kareem. Blasphemy. This, this hallucinated encounter placed Kareem somewhere between reality and fantasy. And all of this merged together to create another span. Yet Kareem thirsted and longed for this encounter. In this cerebral happenstance, the winds were still beating against the walls of his mind, only to sustain another reality, unfamiliar to his usual psychical demeanor. Slowly, his summer became a real reality within the confines of his mind, which led to a real catalepsy. Kareem dozed off while anticipating the next psychotropic marvel. Soon, this particular fascism expired only to generate another. Another whizzed, evolved in the mist of his mind. Someone or something was with him. Who are you? The faceless voice inquired. Another voice was heard in the darkness. What are you doing here? The angry gales continued in their pursuit. The wind ceased. Kareem was lost. Where was he? Why was he put there? Why was he drafted to be a killer of mankind? His unconsciousness and his cerebral calamity led to baffling visions, which perhaps evolved from the deeper facets of his mind. She was standing in front of him, the Ethiopian Jew. The woman had longed for, the woman he had longed for before the war. Although Miriam, his wife, lay on the Gaza Strip, pregnant with his first child. In this vision, Kareem was with Sandy. Well, I'm going to stop right here. I'm looking at my script. And the thing is, I'm seeing some things that I really need to change. I'm going through an editing process also. And I come to, like, I've been working on this script for several months. And the thing is, I'm looking at some discrepancies. See, the thing is, what I've done was, at first I wanted to write my thoughts were that the war in Israel, my thoughts were that it would last for years. And what I had done was I had sort of placed my novel uh, in a it was taking place in a matter of years. But now, as I have observed uh, the real realities. This war in Israel won't last for years. This war in Israel will be over at the end of this year. This war will not last until the end of this year. But when I first started writing um, my novel, I had a time issue. I was it was like I was saying that I was thinking that maybe the war would last maybe 10 years, and I was sort of putting my uh, characters sort of like in the future. But now, as I examine the real realities that are happening with the war in Israel, is that war be over? That war in Israel, it'll be over by the end of the year. There will be a nuclear bomb exploded this year. Remember, as I sat here, this is April 21, 2024. The war with Israel will be over by the end of the year. Israel will be destroyed. And then the world would be placed in another dilemma. But the war has just begun. The irony of it. The war has just begun. And I think just as every war that we know in history, the war has a beginning, a middle, and an end. When I began to write my novel, I was under I was under the impression that the war in Israel would be localized. It'd be localized in Israel, but now it has become an international thing. What has happened now is Iran has changed the variables. After Iran destroys Israel, that's not the end of the nuclear age. That's just the beginning. So I have to do some re-editing my script. I want to have the script ready within 2 months because I need to send it I need to get this book published. Well, I can publish myself, but I have one publisher who's always sending me. I was talking to him. I had tried to make a deal with a publisher with my books several couple of years back. I had submitted. I'm not going to call the publisher's name, but this publisher continues to send me an email as though he wants to renegotiate. And then there's a investing firm. It's called Start Engine. I had approached them about my corporation, and I continue to hear from them. And I wanted to have my book published within the next 2 months because I have certain projects that I'm involved in. Uh, I've established a drama school, and I got many students and staff. And the thing is, I'm someone I I know that like my faith is in God, and the thing is, I'm saying, my goodness, um, someone needs to publish my book, or someone needs to invest some money because the thing is, I have started a school and I got all these energetic children, and boy, and in it, and my staff and everybody's goodness. I hope somebody I can complete this book, and maybe I can work out a deal with the publisher, or maybe Start Engine. I'll contact them. I say, look, why don't you and I'm willing. If you're willing to make the investment, I'm willing to go along with you. Uh, so I'm in a I'm in a situation where I'm saying, what do I do here? What do I do there? But when I examine my life and I say, every single time, every single time, every single time, it's interesting how we are. We are always saying, oh God, this, oh God, that, oh God, this, oh God, that. But He is there for you if you are there for Him. So I I have two projects, but I'm having a few issues that I got to deal with right now. Certain things that I have to think about, and the thing is, again, I may have to start over on my book. And even though my deadline, I had a personal deadline. I said I want to do it in 2 months because I wanted to submit it to a publisher immediately. I published, but I needed to submit it to a paying publisher immediately. You can imagine why. So I'm in the process of re-editing my book because the change when I first started on the book, the situation was different. We had a situation where you had Israel having like a civil war. You know, there was a civil war in Israel, but now it has moved into the international. It's moved into the international level. And what I had anticipated, I can't anticipate these things now because when Iran got into this, that was something that I was not expecting. I was not expecting for another powerful country who would actually confront Israel. So what I have to do now is sort of rewrite my book because I had written it for this process going over in years, but now the game there's a different game going on here. The war will be over. The war in Israel will be over before the year is over, when Israel, unfortunately, will be destroyed. This is Mitchell, Matt Mitchell Jr. signing out on Earth.